All right, done deal in Peachtree City. I think I told you guys I'll be in Peachtree City tonight. I'm having one of those days. That black cop. Oops, excuse me, y'all. Look at him. He working both sides of the yard. I ain't even mad at him. I ain't even mad at the brother. Going home, he's a happy man. All right, come on, you. Phones are slow, man. Maybe these phones used to be fast, y'all. They're so damn slow. X. What we got?
What if your smile could go
this way? This way.
I was a big hulking kid, and as I deplane, you'll see the big guy get off in a second. I would rip the thing off the wall. If I didn't, one of my other buddies would have ripped it off the wall, kicked it down the hall, and get this thing out of here. It wouldn't have lasted. I don't know in today's day and age how other kids, athletes, strong guys in school wouldn't look at this thing and go, what in the hell is this? Unless they got a camera, because they know it's going to happen, a camera facing down on the tampon dispenser. That's probably the only way that it doesn't get destroyed. But then again, you come in and spray the camera in and rip that thing off the wall. CNN is what happened to my sister. I stopped speaking to her when she said she wished the, ooh, wow. Yeah.
Family members, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
I know y'all vote for Trump. Y'all got some
there are a certain
bad family
amount
members
of people in our society right now who are never coming back to normalcy. They're done. They've been gaslit. They've been brainwashed. They've been MK Ultra. They're done. When you would think, forget the name Trump. To wish that anybody would have their head exploded on television. If you actually said that to somebody, the psychiatrist would want to talk to you. Doesn't even have to be Trump. The fact of the matter that some of these people who have openly posted, that they're pissed off that the guy missed. So you want to see a father, a grandfather, a husband.
dead.
You wanted to see this guy's head split open because you don't like his politics. Seriously? Seriously. How shallow of a person are you to feel that you need to have somebody murdered on live TV because you don't like their political policy? Back in the day, that would get a visit by the Secret Service. Just saying something so egregious, so stupid. And now people feel comfortable. They've gotten comfortable saying stuff like this, yet they want to put Elon Musk in jail. They want to basically destroy the lives of conservative people.
You have a message.
Tim Pool, we don't like what you say, so we're going to take it down and basically ruin your life, even though you were the one supposedly deceived. I don't know the in and outs of that entire relationship they had with that company, but what I do know for a fact, without any doubt, that every single one of you watching, you know this for 100% fact, is that not a single thing has been proven as of yet. They went through a complete character assassination of both those guys and Lauren Chen. Destroyed them. And nothing's been proven. Right now, I hope most of you know, it's merely an allegation. We've gotten to a point in our society where you're convicted based upon the DOJ saying we think this happened. No evidence, nothing. Nothing has been presented in court. It hasn't even gotten to court yet. And you're looking at people like, oh, they're Russian, puppets. We no longer have our constitutional right of deference. Deference meaning you're innocent until proven guilty. Now the left has changed that. You're guilty. Now you got to go to court and prove that you're innocent. That's not how it works, or at least that's not how it was designed. It's the other way around. You are still innocent until proven guilty. And all these people now, their lives are destroyed. I hope they all pull out of it, but they are destroyed, and the left is happy. Because, Russia. Oh my God, I'm so sick of every time something happening, screaming Russia. My friends and that's just my husband and friends would have been wearing as earrings of stuck on it. Whatever happened to sweet feminine women? Oh, you're looking at a bunch of them. They're called Republican or conservative women at this point. Everything else, it seems that I don't know how you can be a leftist woman who cares about life. We all grew up, myself, most men, knowing that women were the nurturers. Women were, the men were the hunter-gatherers, and the woman was a nurturer. How did that just go away on the left? They feel like they have nothing to nurture. They don't care about men. They obviously don't care about families and kids. What do they care about? What exactly has been indoctrinated into these people's minds where their essence has been taken away from them, and they've been told you don't need to be this way, and you don't need to aspire to anything. The rich people are bad. Meanwhile, all the people saying this shit are rich. Look in and figure out what Kamala's net worth is, or Bernie Sanders, or AOC. The people telling you to basically be angry at the rich people are rich. It doesn't make any sense. None of it. Oh, I found that. I found the list of the CEOs endorsing Harris. You want me to pull that back up? Because I had it up, and as I looked at it, I was like, these people they're lying. They are absolutely lying. Let me see if I can find that really quick. And it's funny when you look at it, this list. I'm trying to find it here. It was a list, and one of them, believe it or not, okay, here it is. This is just a partial list of the people who endorsed Kamala Harris. You're going to love this. Okay, let me move that to there. Mark Cuban from Shark Tank is on this list. Barry Diller used to be with Comcast. I don't know where he is now. Ken Frazier of Merck. Reid Hoffman from LinkedIn. We all know why Reid Hoffman's that way. He doesn't want a certain list to be exposed. Remember that.
Yep.
Blake Irving from GoDaddy. Chris Larson from Ripple. Jeff Lawson from Twilio. Ted Leonsis, the owner of the Washington Wizards. Aaron Levie from Box. Michael Linton from Snap. Alan Mulcahy from Ford. James Murdoch from Fox News. Laxman Narasimhan from Starbucks. Indra Nossi from Pepsi. Dan Schulman from PayPal. And Jeremy Stoppelman from Yelp are just a few of those who are on that list.
We will never stop fighting for our country, our
Fox
flag,
News is
and our
opposing Donald Trump?
To remove the legacy that he has built.
I found that to be shocking. He made that network. They have made so much money off of Donald Trump, but Paul Ryan and the boys, they don't want to have anything to do with him.
The next president of the
a lot
United
of companies
States,
for the right
President
to boycott.
Donald
Yeah, just go ahead and use your
Excuse me, y'all. Right issues. I had to turn the music down. They be hating on YouTube. But yeah, that list that he was just mentioning is pretty much the list of pedophiles in the Democratic Party who need Kamala to win, so that list of Epstein's Island never gets to the public eye. Remember, that list has been made public, and they've been trying to debunk it, trying to say it ain't true. But once Trump get in office, all bets are off. You're going to find out who's a pedophile, who's not. And most of the pedophiles on that list want Kamala Harris to win. And there's a lot of celebrities, actors, businessmen, a whole lot of them. So once Trump starts to speak, I'm going to let you back in. So
She was worried about somebody taking hot water. She wanted to look like
yeah, I can't play the music.
Okay. He's talking.
But hey, you're a pedophile,
Let me know how the
vote
volume is.
Democrat. Here's Donald J. Trump.
A very special hello to Wisconsin. We really appreciate it. We've had great success here. We've had tremendous success, and I'm thrilled to be back in this incredible state with the thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, which is what you are. And if you can believe it, 59 days from now, we are going to win Wisconsin. We are going to defeat Comrade Kamala Harris.
How's the volume? Let me know about the volume.
We're going to win the White House, that gorgeous, beautiful White House. We're going to win it. And we're going to turn this country around, because this country is a failing nation right now. It's a laughing stock all over the world. Over the past 4 years, our country has seen the sickness and corruption of the Washington swamp exposed like never before. You've seen it. You've been watching it. You watch those millions and millions of people pour into our country. We have no idea from where, who they are. We know nothing about them, and I'll tell you, many of them are bad. Many of them are among the worst in the world. Under the Harris-Biden regime, your government imported murderers, child predators, and serial rapists from all over the planet, while weaponizing law enforcement to jail political opponents here at home. They do that, and they think it's wonderful. It's like third world country only. They loot the economy. They give trillions and trillions of dollars to their left-wing cronies, while you pay the cost of rampant inflation, which is what's happened. Rampant inflation, bad energy policy, and just pouring out money like it was water. They run your country for their own power and profit, while erasing your borders, assaulting your freedom, indoctrinating your children, and selling your jobs to China, Mexico, and all of these other foreign lands. But with your vote this election, their lying, cheating, thieving, hoaxing, and plotting will come to an end. It's going to come to an end. We're going to cast out the corrupt political class. We're going to restore our republic, and we are going to drain the swamp, and we're going to do it once and for all. We're going to get it done. Thank you very much. Here are 9 steps I'll take very quickly to break the grip of this rogue regime. This is the worst president and vice president in the history of our country. There's never been anybody that's done the damage of these people. You know, I used to say, and I haven't said it in a while, if you took the 10 worst presidents in the history of the country, and let's include vice president because she's worse than he is, because she's actually a believer, he wasn't. But if you took the 10 worst, they haven't done the damage that this one administration has done to our country. First, I will end forever the weaponization of government and the abuse of law enforcement against political opponents. Under Comrade Kamala, Christians and pro-life activists are rotting in prison for the crime of praying in public. How about the people they're arresting because they were praying in public? These people are sick. People like Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro, good people, were locked up for following the advice of their lawyers. And as everyone knows, the Harris-Biden DOJ is trying to throw me in jail. They want me in jail for the crime of exposing their corruption. We expose their corruption. They go after the people that expose, not the people that do the corruption. The big news this week was that the Manhattan DA witch hunt against me has been postponed because everyone realizes that there's no case because I did nothing wrong. Did nothing wrong. Political witch hunt. It's a political attack against me by Comrade Kamala Harris and Sleepy Joe and other radical left opponents for the purpose of election interference. This is all it is. My whole life I never had anything. Now all of a sudden I got so many cases. Who's indicting me today? Does anybody have any? Well, sir, you challenged the election. We think you should be under indictment. We challenged the corrupt election. We were right about that. And it's a case that should never have been brought, and they postponed it. And nothing like this has ever happened in the United States before. It's strictly third world banana republic stuff. That's what it is. But importantly, the public understands this. That's why we have such a crowd today. This is a big crowd, you know. You know, they were trying to say that she gets big crowds. Number one, she doesn't. Number two, she buses the people in. You see the buses. There's nobody busting. I'm sorry to tell you. We bust in nobody. We have some people from North Carolina. I think it's what is it? Those beautiful ladies from North Carolina are here again. Without their husbands, never have their husbands, those poor husbands. This is, what is this, 249 or something, 249. And we love them, and we're doing well in North Carolina. We left yesterday. We just got the endorsement of the biggest police group in the country, and 380,000 police. I said, how many police does our country have? But it's 380,000 endorsed me yesterday in North Carolina, your home state. And I just want to thank them. This is like number 250. And I never see their husbands. They're all happily married, but I never see their husbands. So I don't know what the hell is going on. They're beautiful. And they're always perfectly coiffed. That means they have money. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. It's great. And we always have front row Joes over here. Look at these people. Whoa. It's a lot of front row Joes. They've been here for 4 days. Thank you very much. Thank you. The spirit we have is greater than ever before. You know, we did great in 2016. We did better in 2020, but you're not allowed to say that, because if you say that, they go after you. We did better by millions and millions of votes, but neither one of them compared to what's happening now. We've never seen the enthusiasm and the love that we have now. This has really been incredible. And if I didn't think we did well last time, I wouldn't have done this, because, you know, it's a little tough life. It's not the easiest. You get shot at, other things happen, other routine events happen. But we're going to do it for one reason. I wouldn't have changed. They asked me just a little while ago, a reporter said, sir, if you had to do it again, would you do it again? I said, absolutely, because we're going to make America great again. And that's better than my life. Right? These guys know. We know. They know. Thank you. Thank you very much. What an incredible crowd. What an incredible... Nobody's ever had crowds like this. Nobody ever. And the fake news knows it. That's a lot of fake news back there. That's a lot of fake news. The public understands this, and so does every legal scholar, expert, luminary, including people like Andy McCarthy, Jonathan Turley, Alan Dershowitz, Mark Levin, Stephen Calabrese, David Rifkin, Greg Jarrett, Katie and Andrew Cherkowski, Eli Honig of CNN even knows it. They really, they've said very powerfully that This is a case that should have never been brought. It's an embarrassment. Every legal scholar of note has said this stuff shouldn't be happening. It's a weaponization of government. I greatly appreciate the words, if necessary. They also said the decision will be postponed if necessary. First of all, there is no if necessary. We did nothing wrong. We're never going to let them do this. Somebody else wouldn't have taken it. I was thinking, how many people, I was with some people on the plane, and I said, how many people would have taken this? Most of them would have left. They would have said, I'm getting out of this business. But not me. I don't know. Not me. We're up against very bad, evil people. It's an evil force. You know, we have people on the outside and we have people on the inside. You have people, you know, countries, China, Russia, Kim Jong-un. We have lots of people. They're tough and they're smart. And by the way, a lot smarter than what we have now. We have a bunch of dumb people. We have the dumbest leaders in the history of our country, in the history of the world. But you know what? They look at us and they say, what the hell is going on? Did you see? 3 days ago, it started again. The Justice Department said, Russia may be involved in our elections again. You see that, Mr. Congressman? Great congressman from Texas. You see that? Russia. It's Russia. And you know, the whole world laughed at him this time. 2.5 years. Not a phone call made to Russia, not anything to do with Russia, except stopping their pipeline and lots of other things that these people approved. And they said just the other day, the Attorney General, we are looking at Russia. And I said, oh no, it's Russia, Russia, Russia all over again. But they don't look at China and they don't look at Iran. They look at Russia. I don't know what it is with poor Russia. That's but that, you know what? Russia would have never happened if I were president. Attacking Ukraine would have never happened.
They tried to kick Trump off your ballot.
I knew Putin. I knew him well. And, you know, he endorsed, I don't know if you saw the other day, he endorsed Kamala. He endorsed Kamala. I was very offended by that. I wonder why he endorsed Kamala. No, he's a chess player. I endorsed Kamala. Should I be, Congressman, should I be upset about that? No? Huh? Was it done with a smile, Ron? Was it done with a smile? I think it was done maybe with a smile. I don't know. Who the hell knows? Nobody's going to figure it out. They're about 19 steps ahead of us. But this whole Russia thing, nobody was tougher on Russia in history than Trump. And the person that knows that better than anyone is President Vladimir Putin. He knows it better than anyone. And I'll tell you what, I will have that war finished and done and settled before I get to the White House. As president-elect, I will get that done. We'll get it done. It's a horrible, horrible war. And the deaths are far greater than you hear. You don't hear what's happening over there. They're being decimated. You don't hear what's really happening over there. We're going to get it done very quickly. I know both of them. I know Zelensky and I know Putin. I'm going to get it done very quickly. Do you ever notice? I don't even think we try. We just give billions and billions of dollars. Does anyone ever talk to Russia about get this thing finished? Nobody talks. We don't have any communication, nothing. We're run by stupid people. Stupid, stupid people. And we found that out at the debate with Joe. How did that work out? And we're going to find it out again on Tuesday night. Is anybody going to be watching? You know, she's a threat to democracy. There was Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. I'm not a threat. I'm the opposite. I'm keeping democracy. What they are. She's a defunder of police. You know, when somebody on the far left is in charge of defund the police for 12 years, and then they switched, 3 weeks ago or something, oh, we love our police. They don't love the police. They're radical left Marxists, and that's what she is. And she's got to be, it's not even believable. The whole thing it's not believable. Defund the police, no fracking, no, we're not going to frack. You go back a couple of years, we will never frack. There will be no fracking in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania will never frack. And now you say, oh yes, we will frack. The whole thing is a con job. She got in, she was last. They had 22 people or something running. How Biden won, I will never know. To me, it's one of the greatest miracles. To me, it's a great miracle. But how the hell that guy won? But he won, and he got, in this one, he got 14 million votes. She got no votes. And then they put her in anyway. The bosses put her in because she's controlled by them. But she will be the worst president. He is the worst president in history. She will be worse than him. She will be worse than him. And Trump is never wrong. I am never, ever wrong. But just to finish off on the weaponization, you know, probably most of the people have heard. Just yesterday, the top spokesman, one of the top people in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Manhattan, that's a very respected Southern District, very, very highly respected, was heard saying, and was quoted exactly, quote, "Honestly, I think this case is nonsense." Now, this is the boss of the whole thing. Every real estate person in New York does what Trump did. Nobody's ever been charged with this before. It's a perversion of justice. He said that the DA's office was, quote, "stacking charges against Trump and rearranging things just to make them fit the case." I think it is. This is the boss. I don't know why they don't do something. They ought to drop it. They shouldn't delay it. They should drop it. Drop all of it. Drop all of it. I've been indicted more than Alphonse Capone. I say it all the time. He's sort of the ultimate, you know, he's the ultimate criminal. I got indicted more than him. My parents are up there. They're great people. They're looking down on me right now. I can't believe this has happened to my son. He's been indicted more than Al Capone. He would take that tough man sitting right in the front row, stand up. Look at him. He's tough as hell. He would take him out to dinner. If he didn't like him, you were gone. You would never be found again. You'd be in the foundation of a building. You would form the foundation of a building someplace in Wisconsin. Now, Alphonse Capone led a very vicious, violent life, but according to the statistics, I am a much worse person than Alphonse Capone. I don't think so. But he also said, this gentleman said, the New York justice system is, quote, like the Wild West. They're like idiots. They don't care. They're all political. And he said that the persecution in Georgia by Fani Willis, you know about Fani Willis, right? Has anybody? Fani. It's pronounced Fani, F-A-N-I, that's Fanny. But she likes it Fani. When she became whatever she became, DA, she became the DA. She said, my name is Fani. Fani Willis and her boyfriend, right? Wade, Loverboy Wade, remember? Remember Loverboy? We hired him, we gave him almost $1 million because of his tremendous talent at this particular section of the law. He never even heard of it. He was never involved in it. She gave him $1 million and she got no problem. I don't know, maybe she does have problems, but it's a persecution of very good people. Forget me, I don't care about me. I care about like 20-something people. And she wanted to take down senators because a couple of senators called and said, what the hell is going on over there? What's happening in Georgia? What's going on? They wanted to indict senators to find out what the hell is going on. Great innocent people, great patriots have been indicted by Fani and her boyfriend, and it's a disgrace. You had people that are in their 80s. Would you sign here? You know, Thomas Jefferson did the same kind of things. Alexander Hamilton, lots of people all throughout the ages. Hillary Clinton wouldn't acknowledge the election. All of these senators like Shifty Schiff, can you imagine? Shifty Adam Schiff, all of them, they disputed the 2016 election. It's okay for them to do it, but if we do it, it's a serious, serious crime. These people are sick. We got to get them the hell out of there. We have to win this election. Have to win this election, right? He knows. That guy knows. That guy knows. And he said just in ending this that the person, just so good I have to say the whole thing because it's so good. I mean, this is one of the top people in justice in the country and the boss. And he said the persecution in Georgia by Fani Willis is a mockery of justice. It's a joke. The whole thing is disgusting. They're just out to get him, meaning Trump. They're just out to get me. I think that's true. I don't think that's true. I know that's true. But they couldn't have picked a worse target because it's made me more popular. Can you believe me? I think I'm the only person in the history of government that got indicted and my poll numbers went up. You know why? Because you know that it's fake. It's corrupt. Just like Russia was corrupt. Just like their job numbers last week were corrupt. Did you see? They added 818,000 fake jobs on to try and make their numbers look better. And they got caught by a whistleblower. Thank you, whistleblower. Thank you very much. That's incredible, right? That's incredible. 818 jobs. And they were going to announce it because, you know, usually you cheat for 5,000, 6,000. They cheat for 5,000, 6,000, I've heard. Never has anybody seen 818,000. And they were going to announce a correction right after the election. But fortunately, a whistleblower came in and leaked it out, and that was a great thing, and should be. If that were a Republican instead of a Democrat, they'd be out of office now for what they did. That was a fraud. 818,000 jobs, that's a fraud. If Comrade Kamala Harris gets 4 more years, you will be living a full-blown banana republic ruled by an anarchy and a tyranny. You're going to have something, and it's not her. It's the people that surround her. They're scum. They're scum. And they want to take down our country. They are absolute garbage. They want to take, hey, how about the J6 committee? So the J6 committee of political thugs and losers gets together and they investigate J6 for years, destroyed the lives of many people. And now it was revealed fairly recently that they destroyed and deleted all documents, all evidence, all proof. They don't have anything. You know why? Because a lot of it pointed to Nancy Pelosi. It was her fault because she's supposed to be in charge of security, and she turned down thousands of soldiers or National Guard. She turned them down, and it was so obvious. And all of the stories, many of those stories were fake stories. They were all made up. And we caught them because the Secret Service, frankly, said that stuff wasn't true. They deleted and destroyed documents. Now, I think that's a criminal act. Isn't it a criminal act? What the hell happened? When is something going to happen? How come it always happens to a Republican, but doesn't happen to them? They deleted and destroyed every ounce of documents and evidence that they did over a year and a half because it came out badly for them. And they should pay a big price for that. They should pay a big price. The moment we win, we will rapidly review the cases of every political prisoner unjustly victimized by the Harris regime, and I will sign their pardons on day one. I will sign it on day one. Right? Day one. We will completely overhaul Kamala's corrupt Department of Injustice and turn the Injustice Department back into the best law enforcement agency on the planet. Instead of persecuting Republicans, they will focus on taking down bloodthirsty cartels, transnational gangs, and radical Islamic terrorists, which words they won't even say. They won't even say any of those words. Second, I will bring back free speech in America because it's been taken away. They've taken away your free speech, and the fake news is a threat. Is a threat to this country. They are just horrible. These are horrible people. Not everyone. I mean, I know most of them up there. Some are good. Hello, Brian. No, some are good, and most of them are just absolutely terrible human beings. They know what's going on. You know what they'll write today? Look at this crowd. It goes from corner to corner. It's a mess. I flew over it. I said, that's a lot of people down there. And you know what they'll say today or tomorrow when they write? Donald Trump spoke today in Wisconsin before a small crowd of people, a small gathering of people. They are just so bad. I don't know. It's it's really hard to turn it back around unless they used to be like the police force. They'd write the truth, but they're no longer the police force. They're the police force for opposite. They're a police force for bad. They're bad. They're bad people, and they're very dishonest. And a lot of people don't understand. When you're a politician like these people, like me, like others, and you happen to be a Republican or somewhat conservative, they write just the opposite of what the facts are. And if you're driving a cab, if you're an accountant, if you're a lawyer, if you're something, other than that, you don't know the details. When we know the facts and then the story gets written the exact opposite of what it is, you start to lose faith in the press, I will tell you. But I will sign an executive employee from colluding to limit speech, and we will fire every federal bureaucrat who is engaged in domestic censorship under the Harris regime. We will do that. And third is I will expel warmongers. We have these people, they want to go to war all the time. You know why? Missiles are $2 million apiece, that's why. They love to drop missiles all over the place. You know, I had no wars. Remember Crooked Hillary used to say, look at him, he's going to cause wars. No. My personality stopped wars. She said, look at his personality, he's going to cause wars. My personality stopped wars. We had no wars other than I finished wars that they couldn't finish. I defeated 100% of the ISIS caliphate, etc. And did it quickly.
You deserve Cottonelle.
They said it was going to take 5 years. We did it in 4 weeks. We have the greatest military. I got to tell you, they're not woke. Don't worry about when you hear they're woke. Guys like Milley and some of these guys that were on the top, he's gone now, which is a great thing. He's the one that said, leave all the equipment in Afghanistan. It's cheaper. He told me that, too. That's when I didn't listen to him anymore. He said it's cheaper to leave an airplane that costs $150 million brand new than it is to fly it out with a tank of fuel, jet fuel. It's cheaper to leave it behind. I said, this guy is really bad. He's really bad. You know, it's amazing, though. Not one person from that horrible tragedy of Afghanistan, not one general, not one leader in any way got fired, not one person. Biden never fired anybody because they have the goods on them. So I fired people like crazy. I love to fire people. I love to fire people that didn't do their job. I fired a lot of people that didn't do their I fire them. You didn't do your job. I'm sorry. Say hello to your family. You're fired. Get out. We got to get some. I will expel the warmongers from our national security state and carry out a much-needed cleanup of the military-industrial complex to stop the war profiteering and to put always America first. We put America first. So we're going to end these endless wars. They never stop. You ever see these wars? They go on for 14 years, 20 years. They're fighting ISIS for 21 years. These people are something. We knocked them out in 2 months, 1 month actually. We had a good general there. General Raisin Cane. We have great generals, we have great leaders, we have great military, and they're not going woke. You could put them in a room for 2 years and scream woke crap to them, and they'd walk out and they wouldn't be changed. They're not going woke. Don't worry about our military. Fourth, to curtail the power of federal bureaucrats and save your thousands of dollars, we will cut 10 old regulations for every one new regulation. And at the suggestion of a great guy, Elon Musk. Has anyone ever heard of him? Huh? No? Elon. Oh, there's a rocket. Oh, look, a rocket's flying. It's Elon. Now, he's very good at what he does. He's going to have to save them. They have 2 people up there. Boeing had a little, I shouldn't say there's a beautiful Boeing plane there, but Boeing had a little hard time, as you heard. So they're going to save, Leon's going to send up a rocket. He looks forward to it. That's all he thinks about is things like that. I said, Elon, what's taking so long? Let's get going. But you watch, he'll get that problem solved. What a terrible problem. It's embarrassing. That's what's happening with our country. Everything's embarrassing. You know, we don't win anymore. We used to win all the time. We won with me. We won everything with me. We won everything. Remember, I came to office and they greeted me with the following statement: sir, we have no ammunition. I said, wait a minute. We have no ammunition? No, sir. We've given it all away to our allies. Allies, by the way, they're allies, but not when we need them. They're only allies when they need something. If we were ever attacked, none of these countries, or very few of them, that we talk about all the time, none of them would come. We were just attacked by such and such a country. Listen, we need your help. They wouldn't take your phone call. But we give away billions and billions of dollars. No, I was greeted with a statement that, sir, we have no ammunition. And I built and rebuilt the greatest military in the world. And the first thing I did was ammunition. I got ammunition from everywhere as fast as you could. And I said to him, Mr. Congressman, what the hell are you saying we have no ammunition, even if it's true? You don't talk about it. Can you imagine President Xi, thank goodness he was in a good mood. He's listening that we have no ammunition. Do you think he likes that sound? That's a beautiful sound to him. I said, why would you say it? Okay, medic, please. Doctor, thank you. Thank you very much. Take your time. Thank you, doctor. We get the greatest service here. It's amazing the way they just are right on it. Amazing. And some people are out here for 3 days. 3 days. So it's really incredible that things like this don't happen more often, actually. But they always turn out to be good. They're excited. They're excited by what we're doing because we're taking our country back from these lunatics. Take your time, doctor. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all very much. Thank
I
you.
love how he takes the time when people get sick or fall out from being in the sun. It's amazing that he's got that kind of empathy that he'll just sit there.
I don't want to say too many thank yous because you saw Kamala at the convention when she got up. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I said, what's wrong with her? What the? So I don't want to say too much. Is that right, fellas? I get just every once in a while I'll say thank you, and I mean it, thank you. But my thank you is meaningful, I will tell you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Everything good? Everything good? Everybody happy? We have a good, strong person back there is getting up, yes? Okay, you tell me when. You tell me when you in the red shirt with those big muscles in your arms, this big, beautiful, beautiful person. Let me go. Should we go? You tell me when. Gets far back. These are the greatest people that will do this because they love the country. Is that okay? Is that what the okay said? Yeah, say a prayer. Yeah, say a prayer. We need more prayers in this nation, I can tell you right now. That's the other thing. They want to shut down your religion. And they've done a pretty good job of it, to be honest with you. Thank you, doctor. Good doctors in these crowds. We have a lot of doctors in these crowds. There's always plenty of doctors. They're good ones, too. You know, in Butler, two of the doctors, they saved two people's lives that they thought were gone. We had Corey, the great firefighter, Corey, and he was gone, but the doctors saved the other two, and they thought they were gone. They were amazing, amazing doctors.
You know, when you watch these kind of things, you have to wonder the trolls that come in here. I don't like to pay them any
Take your
attention.
time, doctor. We have
But
time,
this
right?
guy is showing compassion for
We
these
have
people.
time.
These people have been out in the sun, sitting there, waiting for him to show up. He definitely cares about the American people. Last rally, he actually went into the audience where the woman basically
That's
passed
right.
out. And yet they want to see this guy harmed physically.
We're getting a good sign, I think. Is that a good
That's
sign?
unbelievable.
We're getting a lot of good signs. That's great. Good. Got some good news back there, Ron, huh? Good job. I watched your speech today. Beautiful. Thank you. Yes? Good. Thank you very much. Thank you. And just make some room for them so they can get out and hopefully come back before we're finished, because we can stay here all day as far as I'm concerned. We'll stay here all day. Thank you very much. Doctors, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Anything happens, let us know. But at the suggestion of Elon Musk, I will create a government efficiency commission to conduct a complete financial and performance audit for the entire federal government. And we will cut the fat out of our government for the first time meaningfully in 60 years. We're going to cut the fat. There is so much fat, you won't even know it's gone. Fifth, we will drain the government education swamp and stop the abuse of your taxpayer dollars to indoctrinate America's youth with all sorts of things that you don't want to have our youth hearing. Ultimately, we'll live, and you know what we're doing here. I say it all the time. I'm dying to get back to do this. We will ultimately eliminate the Federal Department of Education and send education back to Wisconsin and back to the states. We'll send it back to the states so that Ron Johnson can run it, okay? We'll send it back here. Mr. Tiffany, we'll get our Congressman Tiffany involved. He made a good speech too. We're at the bottom of every single list in education. You know that. We're at the bottom of every single list. And yet we're number one in terms of cost per pupil. So, you know the expression I used once, twice, three times before, and it was very effective actually. What the hell do we have to lose, right? We'll send our education back to the states. And you know, some states will do a fantastic job, some won't. And it's the same ones that are laggards right now. I don't want to name them because why would we want to embarrass Gavin Newsom and some of these people? Gavin Newsom, why would we want to embarrass him? But that's, by the way, speaking of California, she destroyed, as you know, Kamala destroyed the greatest city in America, San Francisco. She destroyed it, totally destroyed it. Then she became Attorney General of the state. She destroyed the state of California. Now she's running for president. We're not going to let that happen. Sixth, we will not tolerate so-called equity policies that punish Americans based on race or gender. America will return to the merit principle, which has just been approved by the Supreme Court of the United States. You work hard and you will be very successful. We're back to the merit system. Nobody thought that was ever even possible. We need merit. There's so many people that are left out in the cold, and that's not going to happen anymore. You work hard, you work diligently, you go to school, you do what you have to do, but it's based on merit. Again, you haven't heard that in many, many years. And seventh, working with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., you know Bobby, RFK Jr., that was a meaningful endorsement. That was a great endorsement. We'll take on the corruption at the FDA, the CDC, World Health Organization, and other institutions of public health that have dominated and really are dominated by corporate power and dominated really by China. You know, the World Health Organization, they called COVID totally wrong. And I looked into it. We were paying them $500 million a year. China was paying them For 1.4 billion, we don't really know what we have because so many people have come into our country. We have no idea what we have. But let's assume we have 350 million, including 20 or 25 million criminal migrants, in many cases criminals. We have some of the worst people in the world coming into our country. Some of the worst criminals in the world are coming into our country. But we have 350 million people, let's say. They have 1.4 billion. They pay 39 million. We pay 500 million. Do you think that's a good deal? So I pulled out of it, and they came to me and they wanted me to go back in. They wanted us to go back in, and I kept saying, no, I don't want to do it. And it became actually a very popular thing. I hate to say this, but politically it was like people really liked it because they knew how we were abused by them. It's run by China. It's not run by us. We pay 500 and it's run by China, who pays 39 million. So they wanted to come back, and I said, well, how come China's paying 39 million? They have 1.4 billion people, and we're paying for a much smaller number of people. We're paying 500. We will make the same deal as we made with China. Well, I said, that would mean we'd be paying about 8 million, right? They said, no, we will make the same. We'll let you come in for 39 million. And you know what? I turned them down. Not for that. I turned them down for other reasons, and because they weren't good, and they were dominated by China. But Biden came in, this stupid person came. $590 million. Now, he knew what was going on. He knew that, well, he probably didn't. It's really, do you think you know? I don't think he knew. Do you think somebody said, sir, we can do it for 39? You know, it's not the biggest number when you're talking trillions all the time, but it's indicative of stupidity. And she's worse than him. He is a smarter person than she is. Oh, they're waiting for the debate. You know, if I destroy her in the debate, they'll say, Trump suffered a humiliating defeat tonight, no matter what. Although they did, you know, with Biden, one of the CNN people said that about they said, the Donald Trump performance tonight was the single greatest debate performance I've ever seen. 2 days later, all they did is talk about how bad he was. They didn't talk about me anymore. But no, it's a crooked system, but we're going to make it a very legitimate system again. We can do that, and I think we can do it pretty easily with people like you have over here. I think we can actually do it pretty easily. We will establish a panel of top experts to investigate what is causing the decades-long increase in chronic health problems and childhood diseases, including the autoimmune disorders, autism, obesity, infertility, and much more. And Bobby's going to be very much involved in that. We're going to get him involved because that's what he likes. That's what he's great at. Isn't it great to have a Kennedy with us? Isn't that nice? And this is really, I mean, I don't want to disrespect the rest of the family, but this has been the dominant Kennedy for the last 25 years. You know, he's a great guy. I've known him a long time. He's a great guy, and he really wants what's good for the country, and to have his endorsement is a very important thing. And Tulsi endorsed us too, almost simultaneously, and we love Tulsi. She's been fantastic. She's a woman of great common sense, actually. I've watched her for a long time. She has great common sense. I will ask Congress to pass sweeping reforms to prevent foreign influence peddling, bribery, and corruption like we have seen with a certain family in the United States. The Biden crime family, that's the family. What the hell is happening with that family, Ron? What's going on with that family? You know, the night he spoke at the convention, Congress found out that he stole $27 million. Nothing happened. Nothing happens with these people. He stole $27 million and he was speaking at the convention. They were saying what a wonderful president he was. The worst ever in history. You know, he made a State of the Union speech, the last one. It was so bad. And I turned to CNN and MSDNC. I wanted to see how bad they'd report on it because, you know, it had to be bad. And I turned, and one of them said, not since Franklin Delano Roosevelt has a speech been made so brilliantly or delivered so well. He was coughing in his hand all the time. He's coughing. Then he walks out and shakes everybody's hand. Some people actually didn't want. They went, hello, sir. Hello, sir. It's wonderful to have you up there, sir. So can you imagine? You know, Franklin Roosevelt was a great speaker in a certain way, very elegant person, came from a very elegant neighborhood, so to speak, very, very rich and entitled, but different from these people you have today, but very beautiful speaker. And they compared him to Franklin. Not since Franklin Delano Roosevelt has anybody made a State of the Union like that. And I said, this is really terrible. This is really terrible. And finally, I will support modifying the 25th Amendment to make clear that if a vice president lies or engages in a conspiracy to cover up the incapacity of the President of the United States, if you do that with a cover-up of the President of the United States, it's grounds for impeachment immediately and removal from office, because that's what they did. That's what they did. You know, think of it. If he didn't go to that debate, he'd still be running. He'd still be running. To every citizen who's sick and tired of the parasitic political class in Washington that sucks our country of its blood and treasure, November 5th will be your Liberation Day. November 5th this year will be the most important day in the history of our country, because we're not going to have a country anymore if we don't win. It will be the most important day in the history of our country. You know, I used to say that about 2016 because the border was bad, but the border was bad. It was like 5% of what's going on now. It was fine. And I fixed it very quickly and beautifully. And then I couldn't talk about it. I kept saying, I want to talk for the next election. Well, we got millions more votes. I couldn't talk about it. They said, sir, people don't want to hear about the border. It's in great shape. You fixed it. I said, I want to talk about the border. They said, sir, I'm telling you, nobody cares. And it's true. I used to talk about the border. They didn't care because I fixed it. But this border is so much worse. This border is at a level that there's never been a border in the history of the world that's been where 20 or 25 million people have poured in and nobody has any idea where they're coming from. Here in Wisconsin, you also need to defeat a radical left senator named Tammy Baldwin, who's bad news. Baldwin voted with Biden almost 100% of the time, giving you open borders, horrific inflation, the Afghanistan disaster. That's the most embarrassing day, I think, in the history of our country, right? He's nodding. I agree. And everything else, all of these problems that we have, all of the open borders and the people pouring in, you know, all of it, like the energy we can solve quickly, everything we can solve. But we have to do something. We have millions of people coming. I mean, they've poured in. They're here. They're here. You know, the border's been a little bit tougher lately because there's an election. That's the only reason. So the numbers are a little bit better than they were 3 months ago. But that's only for purposes of, the fact is, these people, these 20, 25 million people are already in our country. What they've done to us, it's suicidal. It is suicidal. What they've done to this country, nothing like that has ever. It's an invasion of our country. But running again.
You still outside?
No, I came in.
Oh, I need you to look at something. There was one of my solar lights flickering out there. Did you see it?
I wasn't looking at that. I was just relaxing.
Oh, you back in the house though. You wouldn't. Over there by the shrubs, that I got a solar light. It's flickering. I was going to ask you to pull it.
Pull it?
Pull it. Pull it.
Pull it. Well, I'm going to pull.
Pull it out
I
the
see
ground. You don't see it over there flickering?
I see one steady light on. Flickering light.
It's
Went out.
It went out.
Yeah, because I just see a steady light and then a dim one. Right here by the side of the back door here, back way.
No, I'm talking about in the front yard. Over there by that, by our neighbor.
By the neighbor.
No,
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at it right
not
now.
by the vehicle though.
Here, it's a dull. It's right by under the shrubs.
Yeah, you see it flickering?
No, it's dull. There's no flickering. It's like it's dull.
Oh, not in the driveway, the opposite side of With those shrubs at by the edge of the road.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, baby. I'm looking at it right now. It's a dull light. It's not flickering. It's just dull. Yeah, unless it's dull and flickering. I don't see a flicker. I just see dullness. Yeah. But you could handle that later.
No.
All right. You can handle that. All right, I don't want to disturb your drive, so I'll see you when you get here.
I'm almost there. See you in a minute.
Okay.
All right.
Against Tammy Baldwin is a true American patriot. He really is. He's an incredible guy. I don't know. Nothing is easy. You know, you beat these people that are in Washington for so long, and many of them are no good, but they are hard to beat. They're hard to beat. She's no good. I mean, I was president for 4 years. I don't know. I'm not even sure if I ever met her. She doesn't do anything. She just votes the party line, and then she gets the party support. She doesn't do anything for Wisconsin. When I gave you the big boat contract, I gave you the biggest boat contract in years, and a lot of people didn't want it to go here. Everybody wanted it. I gave it. She never called me. She was the one person that should have been calling me. She never called me. I gave it to you for other reasons. But we have somebody that's running. Number one, he's central casting, you have to say. This guy is central casting, and he's smart, and he's tough, and he's a hero, and he's a success, and he'll make an incredible senator for you and your wonderful people who I know so well in Wisconsin. Eric Hovde is great. Come on up, Eric. Come on up.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let's give President Trump a big Wisconsin hello! You know, all of us are here for one reason, and it's
literally very popular in Texas. He's a very powerful, wonderful congressman in Texas, and he's come here, and he's staying here, and he's working so hard. And I said, what are you doing? He says, we got to get you elected. If you win Wisconsin, you're going to win the whole thing. This is a big deal. Wisconsin's a big deal. So I remember that, Troy. I know it. I've been hearing all about Troy. He's doing meetings and speeches.